it really wouldn't surprise me at certain moments when Howie Roseman makes a trade. And it looks like there is some news that is surfacing right now on Quez Watkins. And what could happen here? Because there is a trade proposal that is out right now. There is insider information from The Athletic, from Bo Wolf, that the Eagles are open to trading Quez Watkins. And there's a big report on it. Let's get into it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It's on a fantastic day. So I want to go over some reports that have been coming out on a Quez Watkins trade. Seems like the Eagles are open to trading Quez Watkins right now. I know I'm kind of surprised these rumors are coming out. I mean, between the DeAndre Hopkins stuff that's going on and now Quez trade rumors, kind of weird right now. Now, this is obviously Bo Wolf of The Athletic and obviously a few other people that have worked at The Athletic as well that know a lot of inside information on what the Eagles are doing and what they want to do. So here is the rumor here. So it's Philadelphia Eagles send wide receiver to Falcons as part of intriguing trade proposal. Here it says the Atlanta Falcons could end up acquiring some solid receiving talent, according to this interesting trade proposal. It says Falcons would do well to welcome a new wide receiver this offseason, and Quez Watkins is being floated as a potential target. The Athletic's Bo Wolf has reported that the Philadelphia Eagles are open to dealing with former 6th-round pick ahead of the 2023 season. Okay, Quez Watkins trade. Obviously, if you're making a move like this, it's got to be because you have a plan B behind it. I mean, really. I mean, if they trade Quez with no replacement, I think that would piss me off more. Just because, I mean, is Zacchaeus like, you know, the better player here? I mean, really, it comes down to, is it Zacchaeus that's going to replace Quez Watkins if they trade him? I mean, there's no way they already have faith in Joseph Nagata or Jaden Hazelwood or, you know, Charleston Rambo or any of these other guys. I mean, they're undrafted. They're not even proven yet. So there's no way that they have any type of, you know, they haven't hit camp yet. They haven't even hit camp. And there's no way they have that much faith in these undrafted free agents that are going to be obviously competing this offseason, this training camp, joint practices, preseason games. So it's going to be really interesting what happens here. Now, with the DeAndre Hopkins situation going on, you know, it kind of makes it a little, it fits 2 and 2 together. You know, we're hearing about DeAndre Hopkins wanting to play with Jalen Hurts. All this great stuff going on. Jalen Hurts follows DeAndre Hopkins on Instagram. And then all of a sudden, now this Quez Watkins trade rumors are coming up. Now, it looks like from the trade value they can get for Quez right now, that apparently there are teams, or it's just the Falcons. I don't know if there's more teams involved in this, but they could get a 4th-round pick for next year, which really isn't a bad thing. Like, I mean, he's a 6th-round pick. Let me just make sure I'm reading this right before anything. If they get a 4th-round pick for him, I got no problem with it. You know what I mean? I mean, it says it right in the report, and it kind of said it perfectly about Quez Watkins. You know, he's a speed demon. He's got that 4.3 speed, but, you know, he just has inconsistency issues, and, you know, he's had drop issues. He's had fumble issues at crucial moments, and it kind of is annoying. And, you know, I like Quez Watkins. I feel like he should start this year. But I'm not getting rid of Quez and trading him if they have no move. Obviously, they're not just going to give him away. It's not like he's a big cap number for the Eagles. What is he, like $2 million? Like, not even that. Like, he's not a big cap number for the Eagles. He doesn't hurt the cap at all. But I feel like they're going to get, you know, they're going to have a lot of draft picks next year. As much as they traded back and forth some picks, they used some picks up. They're getting a lot of comp picks back for next year, and potentially can get another 4th-round pick. Because as of right now, you're going into next year, with 2 second-round picks, you know, with a first, 2/3, 2/4. I mean, it's nuts. I mean, you can have like 11 to 12 draft selections, you know, in this draft in 24, which now you're paying a quarterback, which really isn't affecting the Eagles' cap space at all. Between this year and next year, it's $19 million against the cap for Jalen Hurts, which is absolutely nothing right now. Okay, so, you know, it's either they have faith in Zaccheaus, that had a really good year with the Falcons last year, and, you know, had his best year, over 500 yards, 2 touchdowns, pure slot guy, probably as fast as Quez or faster, and can catch the ball really well, or is more consistent, or DeAndre Hopkins is coming to Philadelphia in replacement to Quez Watkins and being part of this trio of wide receivers. That would be probably the most scariest thing of all. As much as, like I said, I've talked about the DeAndre Hopkins situation pretty much all week, and I've said that, do we need him? No. You know, will he get a big contract? You know, at his age, you know, how much of a big contract are we talking here when he joins the Eagles? They have a lot of, obviously, they don't have like millions of dollars in cap space. They have like 13 million, but, you know, you're not looking for a 23 million a year type deal. You know, when you go to a winning team, you're not coming here to get paid. You're not joining a franchise that's already loaded roster wise to get paid more money. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? You're coming here on a cheap deal or somewhat significant, give him some bonus money, whatever the case may be, to make him happy and stay here for the year. And as long as he's not selfish and wants the ball this much and can, you know, obviously he's the number 3 dude at wide receiver 3. And he understands that, then I'm perfectly fine with it. But Quez Watkins traded, and that's really interesting. Like, I got to have a really strong plan B. And I don't know if I wouldn't, if they like Zaccheaus, you know, I'm talking about the undrafted guys. There's no way that's going to be the option here. When you're talking about Zaccheaus that came from the Falcons, I don't think, just keep both of them. I mean, just keep both of them at this point. You know, like, keep Quez, because really, if you keep Quez, Zaccheaus is there. I feel like they're going to use both of these receivers regardless. I think Zaccheaus is going to be used for a lot of different things, screen passes, slants. You know, he's got a lot of quickness, a little bit shorter than Quez. He's like an inch shorter than Quez, and I think he weighs the exact same as Quez. I know they're both burners. I think Zaccheaus is he's a pure slot, pure slot, and Quez could play both outside and inside, but you know, the inconsistency is there with Quez the past few years. And, you know, I've always rooted for this guy. But this is going to be, I don't know what's going to happen here. If it was up to me right now, if Hopkins is available and he wants to come here this badly, doesn't care what price it is, lowest price possible, I'd bring him in, trade Quez, and then have Zaccheaus on the roster. If you have no plan B, and this is just for a draft pick, like he's like, oh, I just want to trade Quez because I want a draft pick, then I would keep him. I would keep him, and I'd honestly keep Zaccheaus together because you're going to need depth at receiver, and I don't want to hone in too much on these undrafted guys. As much as I'm excited about the depth at wide receiver to see what Hazelwood and Nagata and some of these, what these other guys could do, it's not so certain that trading Quez would be the right decision. But like I said, if there's a powerful, more stable plan B after trading Quez, if there is a plan behind this, then I'm totally fine with it. You know what I mean? I don't hate Quez Watkins. You know, he struggled last year. He admitted to it. He's worked his tail off this offseason. I've seen videos. I've seen a lot of news on Quez and people that know Quez's trainer that has spoke really highly of him. He put on a little bit of muscle, you know, so this is a contract year for Quez too. So, you know, he's going to give you his all because he wants to get his money next year. Okay. You know what I mean? But as a wide receiver 3, he's not going to probably get a ginormous contract, but you know what I mean? You had 2,000-yard receivers this year, or last year, and a 1,000-yard running back, you know? So this offense runs through A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. That's what the passing game runs through, okay? But, you know, just weird how DeAndre Hopkins stuff comes out, and then it's literally a Quez Watkins trade. So hand in hand if this happens. And, if the Eagles feel like they're going to get more out of DeAndre Hopkins, which I feel like they will, I feel like they'll get more out of him. I'm fine with it. And you want to get rid of him for a draft pick, you get a 4th round pick for him. That's great. I mean, that's ammo for next year's draft. You know what I mean? But I think the Eagles are going to have a ton of cap space next year because there's about 3 to 4 players they can restructure next year. I mean, I've looked at the list. I got to look at it again, but I think there's like at least 3 players they can restructure for more cap space next year. And honestly, they're pretty good right now. I mean, all the moves you made, and you still have over $13 million cap space is really good. Howie Roseman has had a perfective offseason, especially at Killer Draft, and when you make trades and do some good things like this, I mean, to get draft, I love when Howie Roseman works on this year, works on the future, works on next year's draft at the same time, and that's what I really like. Like, he'll be trying to get a better roster this year, but at the same time, he'll be getting more draft picks. He'll be trying to, just get as much as possible for next year, because when you have multiple thirds, multiple fourths, that's a lot of ammo to do a lot of things with. Not even just during the draft, but just for trades for next offseason as well. If you want to trade for a specific player and you have all this you have all these draft picks and you want somebody here long term for a few years and a young player or something like that, you never know what could happen here. But I know I've been kind of going on and off about this, but yeah, this would make the most sense, and I'm pretty happy about it. I think this would work out for both sides. I would only trade Quez if DeAndre Hopkins is going to be here. That's it. I mean, that's all I could really say about it. If he's not, I'm keeping him on the roster. I know it's tough not to get a 4th round pick for him, because honestly, if they're able to get a 4th round pick for him, that's pretty good. That's pretty good compensation. I mean, for me, it would be like maybe a 5th to a 6th round, 6th rounder or something like that. A 4th rounder is pretty good. I think it's solid. I think it's great, actually. But that's pretty much the news on Quez. The Hopkins stuff comes out now. All this Quez trade proposal to the Atlanta Falcons, and obviously, I guess they're in need of more receivers. And Quez can, obviously, Quez is going to be cheap on another roster regardless. He's cheap for us. He's going to be cheap for somebody else, but, giving up 1 draft pick for him and they get him for $2 million against the cap, whatever, $3 million against the cap, whatever it is. It's a total steal for a team, and I think he'll produce this year. I kind of want to give Quez another shot, but if this is for DeAndre Hopkins, I'm doing it. If it's not, I'm just gonna keep him on the roster, because I feel like he can still contribute. I feel like he's working his tail off. I feel like he has a lot more to give to this roster. And like I said, I can't really complain about it at all. So you guys let me know what you guys think about the Quez Watkins trade proposal. Would you trade him? What would be your plan B behind trading Quez Watkins? Would it be DeAndre Hopkins, or would it be somebody already on the roster, or would you just keep him on the roster if it's not DeAndre Hopkins? You guys let me know, because I feel like this is really interesting, and this could be pretty realistic down the road, whether it happens in a week, tomorrow, by training camp, before the season starts, anywhere before the season starts. Who knows what happens with Quez? But yeah, maybe they feel like Quez is not going to be consistent on the last year of his deal. Maybe he's just been inconsistent too much, where the Eagles just don't have enough trust in him on game day and want to get a bona fide vet here, that's going to be real hungry. And not saying that Quez isn't hungry. I have nothing against Quez. Look, if they're not getting DeAndre Hopkins, I mean, I don't know what the case is. I don't know what the case is. If they trade Quez Watkins, you keep, you could get DeAndre Hopkins and keep Zacchaeus, and that would be your backup, and see what else kind of goes with your depth. They brought in a lot of receivers, obviously, for camp, which you're going to bring in a lot of the same position to camp to try out for this team. 90 to 53. That's what they're going to have to figure out. So I'm pretty pumped. I'm excited to see what happens, June 1st, and maybe a week after. See what happens. Maybe a move happens before training camp. I mean, we'll see. But definitely something to look forward to. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. And if you guys last as long as this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video as well for more Eagles updates every single day. And, me just sputtering out stupid crap every day. So that's the way it is. You guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys on the next one. SHAKESQUAD up, follow us, peace out, guys. Peace.